Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It is actually 11 o'clock in the evening, and just trying to muster some strength. I'm not sure why, because I didn't sleep until about 6 o'clock a.m. and then I woke up at 9:30. Then I woke up I must have fallen asleep about, I don't know, 11. Then I was woken up again about 12:30 with obviously messages and stuff like that, ping 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 ping. I must have fallen asleep again. I didn't wake up until 4 p.m. So my whole day just disappeared, and but it was good because I needed the sleep, because I'm not sleeping. My insomnia has really kicked in quite a bit actually, so I'm a bit concerned about not having enough sleep. So and then obviously your day just ends. And before I knew it, when I was doing all my marking, online marking, and trying to get to log on back onto my laptop and my work email, it was already like getting time to do iftar. So anyway, but I just feel so tired, and I'm so bloated. I feel so bloated, and we don't even eat. We eat really light. We really do eat light, but it's just like, yeah, I'm just so bloated. I just feel like I was put on a stone just around my torso. And it's kind of sad, because that's where my issues were in the first place, and that's where I've had my surgery and stuff. But I watched a program called Botched on E, and I just love it. I love you learn so much from these documentaries, and it's not and I do watch documentaries. I watch more documentaries than I do any other like dramas or sitcoms or films and stuff, because I am a believer that just educate yourself and about things, and whether it's medical stuff or whether it's new things around you. And yesterday, just diverting that again, and I was watching something on YouTube yesterday, and it was like an ad, and it was an Islamic, so I need to find it, but it was a tribe deep within an isolated area in Africa, and these were people who are not in touch with the outside world at all. Okay, so that's the first thing. The other thing was that obviously Africa is really hot, and if you're living in like the sub-Saharan part of the continent, which is extremely hot and volatile as well, not a lot of foreigners go there, and it's kind of like untouched. And so these people, indigenous people, they are just they cover just the bottom half and not the top half. And the Muslims, like missionaries, isn't it? Back in the time, we had a lot. Even now, we have missionaries going on. But these guys are the brothers and stuff, and who were Christian themselves. So they were Christian missionaries themselves at some point, and are reaching out to give dawah, call to Islam, sort of thing. Same thing as missionary, but in an Islamic context. And anyway, they encountered this tribe, and then he was talking about how in the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was talking about a group of people living in these mud houses, and who are, they basically described this tribe, or the people of this nation and this tribe, and they were like in tears, because they was thinking, oh my God. And they said that their forefathers used to go and worship whatever it is that they worshipped, and then the Muslim brothers was giving them dawah about Islam and things like that. I'm talking about obviously things from the Quran that were from the from Christianity, the Christian faith anyway, because what they were seeing and the way they were talking was very similar to that practice of the ancient Christian times, the untouched version of Christianity, which probably had come to them through some other missionary. And then they talked about back in the days that when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that these are the tribes of people from so and so nation living in so and so sort of houses, and this is what they look like, which is they only cover the bottom half and not the top. And then talked about revealing the ayah about chastity and about covering and whatever. And then they were praying salah in front of this gathering, and it was so beautiful, because the chief said, I want you to seek their permission of what they want to do, whether they want to leave the religion of their forefathers or become Muslims. And this guy was taken back by it, and so he put it on there like, this is my religious, this is how I pray, whatever. And and they goes, no, we want to become what you are, we want to worship the God that you worship, and whatever. No, and I think they were with them for about a week or two, and they was watching these guys praying salah and doing their wudu and listen to their talks and their lectures, and whatever that you would normally do when you go to preach and stuff. And it's so nice that the whole tribe took the shahada together, and was doing like one letter at a time or one phrase at a time, and they took their first sujood in prayer, because they were just copying these guys. And each time they said that we were praying, we could just laugh in the corner, like fleeting from our eyes, you could just see them doing it. And the camera guy was recording them, just copying them the way they were preaching. And as a Muslim, they took their first sujood, and this whole group of guys were just in tears. And it was just so beautiful, because it was just that innocent, untouched moment that these guys just came across. And it was like because obviously it's the Laylatul Qadr, and we were talking about praise and stuff like that. And I was reading it when I was reading the Quran, and obviously I read it in English because I really just want to learn and just understand what I'm reading. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I was reading Al-Anam, the surah, and it was saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide whomever he wills, and it's just amazing that what that means. It doesn't mean that, okay, I'm not going to guide you guys because you're not worth it, but it's not that. You got your trials and your tribulations, and if in your heart and your soul and whatever, you just like really, behind closed doors, you just don't want to know about Islam, and in front of other people who are for Muslims, you are, oh yeah. And then we see that in our everyday. People who are in my gathering will talk to me about Islam, even though I don't, because I'm Islamic, but I'm sure when they're not in front of me, they're completely different. And I know though they are. And people just change because they think this is what I'll talk about. And which I don't actually ordinarily do. Because, you don't force your religion on anybody's throat unless they ask you questions and you will talk about it. And it was just so nice at that moment that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had guided these groups of missionaries, I guess, and through this unknown, uncharted area. And the fact that they could have, you watch these programs where they can just spear you, kill you, whatever, because they want to remain untouched and stuff. Yet they, by the qadr of Allah, they welcomed them in. They embraced their habits and their routines and their rituals, their questions. They were so inquisitive. They questioned, and they gave them the right dawah, and they became Muslims. The whole tribe became Muslims, including the chief. And because the fact that we've left them with this knowledge, and they went back again. Obviously, I didn't see the rest of it because it was just a snapshot and the little ad, and they kept going back and time again, so that they are happy that they've left them in a state that they can pray, and that they've got enough knowledge and that they can sustain whatever it is that they need to sustain. So it was just amazing, and we just don't realize, isn't it, that how we are guided, and I believe that in the 3 years that my dad has passed away, that I've just I've lost sight of a lot of things. And I met my friend in Tesco's, and she was, oh, you have changed. And I goes, yeah. I goes, it's taken. Why did you stop wearing the jilbab? And I spent a fortune on jilbab, designer ones from Saudi, from Dubai, and I used to make jilbabs. I don't wear them anymore, and sometimes I question myself, why not? And certainly after my mum passed away 2 years later, last year, I stopped praying salah, and I think it was just one of those things. And from the qadr of Allah, I met certain people in my life that who have shaped me and who have helped me, and through them, through their reminders. And everyone can remind you, but I don't know, maybe it was that they were particularly sent to to guide me, and it's through their reminders that I'm actually, I've started to pray again. And we just talk about prayers, and we talk about religion all the time, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends you the certain people, those friends, those proper friends, like they said, if they can guide you stop you from doing that's wrong, then they're your friends, you know. Otherwise you have friends that would just, yeah, forget about prayer, let's go out. So yeah, I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides whomever he wills, and I'm so blessed, really am.